Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The chief executive of Navota says Metro Manila mayors were not consulted when the recent IATF decision to ease restrictions in areas under general community quarantine. Other mayors in the capital region say it's too early for such a move. JC Cosico has this report.
Navota City Mayor Toby Tiangco cries foul against IATF's decision to ease quarantine restrictions in GCQ areas, including Metro Manila. He said NCR mayors were surprised with the relaxed guidelines set to be implemented on February 15.
Hindi po kami nakonsulta, nagulat lang kami kahapon nung we were informed about.
Recall that on Friday, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said more faithfuls will be allowed to attend religious gatherings as the allowable capacity in places of worship has been increased to 50%. Tiangco said he sees no problem about this.
Yung 50% sa churches, no question, payag ako doon. Ang reason doon is because pinapayagan na rin naman natin ng 50% capacity yung mga restaurants, di ba? So para maging consistent lang tayo, payag ako doon sa 50% doon sa churches.
However, the government is also allowing the reopening of cinemas, game arcades, and other leisure activities in GCQ areas starting Monday. Tiangco said this move must be reviewed in consultation with health experts. Pateros Mayor Miguel Ponce III echoed Tiangco's statement, saying the reopening of economy should be gradual, especially with the threat of the UK variant.
Hindi naman po pwedeng lahat parang balik na sa normal. Dahil sayang naman yung effort natin, lalo sa amin, napakababa ng cases ngayon na gusto namin ma-maintain sa gano'n. Dahil pag medyo binitawan na natin yan, palagay ko magkakaproblema tayo uli.
In an interview with One News, Marikina Mayor Marcy Teodoro expressed his reservations with the eased restrictions, as his city is currently seeing an increase in cases. He fears that the relaxed measures might worsen the situation, not only in Marikina but all over the metro.
It will proportionally increase, I think, the number of cases in Marikina as well as in the metropolitan Manila area.
Teodoro believes an efficient vaccination program must come first before the easing of restrictions.
The IATF should focus more on the efforts in implementing the soonest time possible our vaccination program before easing restrictions that might cause a surge in the number of COVID cases. We need to achieve what we call the herd or population immunity before normalcy in our activities can be restored.
The Metro Manila Council earlier said they will appeal the IATF's decision allowing cinemas and other leisure activities in GCQ areas. MMDA Chairman Benhur Abalos told 1PH totoo lang at while the economy sorely needs the reopening of establishments, it must be done slowly but surely.
Itong sinihan, medyo question mark po ito. Ngayon, ang posisyon po namin, from 18, gagawing 15. 15 to 65. Ito po yung consensus ng mga Metro Manila mayors. And then after probably a certain time, tignan natin kung let's say, hindi namang kumalat, wala namang and then pwedeng babaan ulit ito. Diba? Gaganon lang po naman kasi talagang kinakailangan na ng ekonomiya. It's just that, kamukha po ng sinabi ko kanina, dahan-dahan lang, slowly but surely.
For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
The UP Octa research team is also warning against relaxing quarantine protocols in Metro Manila. In a statement, Professor Ranjit Rai says a premature easing of restrictions may lead to a spike in cases just as the country is set to begin its rollout of COVID-19 jabs. He adds frontliners in Metro Manila must be inoculated first before the government allows any significant relaxation of quarantine status in the region. The research team is now urging Metro Manila mayors to review proposals on the matter. Rai also warns against the threat of complacency and overconfidence in the country. He says the government should not overestimate its achievements and underestimate the virus. Now, as for the latest COVID-19 numbers, the Health Department has reported over 1,900 new infections. That brings the country's caseload to above 547,000, nearly 35,000 of which are still considered active. Around 95% are asymptomatic or mild cases. Now, the virus killed 12 more patients in the past 24 hours, pushing the death toll to over 11,500. Some 500,000, meanwhile, have gotten better from the disease, with 133 new recoveries reported today. The DOH also confirms 19 additional cases of the UK COVID-19 variant in the country, bringing the total number to 44. And we'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The government is not joining a United Nations resolution calling for the release of detained Burmese leader Aung San Suu Kyi following a military takeover. In a Twitter post, the Philippines' top diplomat Teddy Locsin Jr. says the country is dissociating itself from the UN Human Rights Council consensus. According to Philstar, China and Russia disassociated from the resolution and not dissociated as used in the official Foreign Affairs Department statement. While the DFA calls for a complete restoration of the democracy in Myanmar, it says it also upholds its sovereignty. The agency also stresses the primacy of national internal efforts rather than foreign meddling in achieving democratic reforms. A senator reminds the United States government that the Philippines is not a nation of extortionists. In a Twitter post, Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson said that at least not all Filipinos are greedy or mukhang pera. This was Lacson's response to President Duterte's recent pronouncement that the U.S. should pay if they want to continue the visiting forces agreement in the country. Recall that Duterte threatened to terminate the VFA last year after the U.S. canceled the visa of his longtime friend, former police chief Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Meanwhile, here are other stories from around the world. Russia says it is prepared to cut ties with the European Union should the bloc follow through with the threat to impose painful economic sanctions. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov warned that Russia is ready to retaliate if the EU takes punitive action. Ties between Russia and the West have come under renewed pressure over the arrest and jailing of Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny. Now in Japan, Yoshihiro Mori resigned as the president of the Tokyo Olympic Organizing Committee following his sexist comments regarding women. Mori's departure comes after he reportedly said women talk too much and had caused much chaos during a board meeting last week. The Olympic Organizing Committee has yet to announce its new chief as it rages to open the Games on July 23. And China's space agency released 2 videos showing its Tianwen-1 probe entering the orbit of Mars earlier in the week. After a 6-month journey, the spacecraft had slowed to a speed at which could be captured by the pull of Mars' gravity, making it the second probe to reach the planet this month. The China National Space Administration said the spacecraft was sending a Lunar New Year greeting to Earth. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.